During his presidential campaign, candidate Donald Trump promised to end taxes on Social Security, overtime, and tips. Oh, wow. Okay. He even said that his big, beautiful bill is going to deliver on that promise. And he even celebrated the passage of this big, beautiful bill and saying, yes, we got rid of taxes on Social Security, overtime, and tips. However, when you look at the details of what was actually passed and signed into law, you find out that it's a bit of a bait and switch. You see, the 330-page measure does provide some temporary relief, but offers permanent tax cuts for the rich. So what's more is that the recipients of those tax breaks, average people, might end up soon paying far more because of the Trump tariffs that will take effect, that he claims will take effect next month. So according to Jason Furman, a top economist from Obama's White House, said, quote, it's about $750 in tax cuts and about $2,000 in tariff increases. Of course. That said, Trump has been going around claiming promises made, promises kept. On a June 29th Fox News appearance, he said there's no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. Yeah, until about 2028. During Tuesday's cabinet meeting, he once again claimed that he and congressional Republicans delivered on his promise of no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. And on Wednesday, in an email to his small dollar donors, or his suckers, I should say, Trump wrote, I just signed into law something I'm very proud of. No taxes on Social Security. Again, there are claims, and then there's reality. What Trump and Republicans did was create a limited tax deduction for a maximum of $12,500 in overtime pay, $25,000 in tip income, and only for federal income taxes. Workers still have to pay into Social Security and Medicare taxes and all overtime pay and tips. On all overtime pay and tips. What about Social Security recipients, though? They will receive a new tax deduction amounting to about $600 for the typical recipient, not already exempt from paying that tax because their income is too low, which that is a situation that many retirees, people on Social Security actually face, is they just don't make enough to pay into tax in the first place, so they're already tax exempt. Now, this, of course, helps benefit the wealthy because, there are people that are retired that do, yes, make enough to pay tax. Like perhaps they have a pension or something, or whatever. They're going to save money. So there you go. Now, that said, all 3 tax breaks expire in 2028. So, he didn't really... Yes, sure, he did cut the taxes a little bit. And then it's going to expire. Whereas the tax cuts for the rich never expire. They're permanent. It's nothing more than a bait and switch. And that's what it is. They give a temporary tax cut to working people to distract them from the massive tax cuts they gave to the rich that are now permanent. Multimillionaires benefit from a permanent increase in the size of the estate tax protections. And so that's one of them. Look, this is what they did in 2017, by the way. That said, the 2017 tax cuts were made permanent for everyone. They also extended the child tax credit, which had been set to expire, and they made permanent the standard deduction and adjusted it for inflation. And of course, they did all that in order to make the bill a little bit more palatable for everyone else. So it gives crumbs to working people, but reserves the vast majority of the benefits to the very rich. An analysis by the nonpartisan Urban Institute, Brookings Institution Tax Policy Center, projected that for 2026, the lowest 20% of the income spectrum, earning up to $34,600 in income, only stands to gain about 0.8% in after-tax income after the new law. Next 20%, those earning up to $66,800, the increase is about 1.7%, not very much. For the next 20%, those earning up to $119,200, the increase is 2.3%. While the second highest 20%, those earning up to $217,100, the increase is 2.8%. And for the top 20%, the increase is 3.4%. Wealthier Americans will gain disproportionately from this bill. And what isn't being taken into effect as well is the fact that, for the poorest Americans, guess what? You've got your Medicaid that has been gutted. Yes, about $1 trillion. Food assistance also gutted. And you have a massive, they're massively add to the debt. About $4.6 trillion is being added to the debt over the next 10 years. That will be lost in revenue, mostly from the very rich. And again, what little average people will save in taxes as a result of this is just going to end up going to other taxes like tariffs. An analysis from the Yale Budget Lab estimated that higher prices will cause an average American consumer to spend $2,800 more a year because of the tariffs. Those at the bottom of the income distribution could lose $1,300. Way more than they would save in taxes from these tax breaks. So that is a pretty big net negative if you're a regular person. Whereas the rich, they're gaining so much more from this. And that is the reality of the Republican tax bill. They give a tiny bit of crumbs to the poor while giving the rest, the majority, to the richest Americans, and then claim that they're helping the little guy. We've helped the little guy. I don't think ExxonMobil is the little guy. I don't think Walmart's the little guy. Yet those companies, and many more, are going to be the ones benefiting the most from this bill, while regular Americans will, of course, end up losing in the long run. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.